Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we choose a sounder from radio history. That's right, to say, as they always do, hey, you're doing something else and it's important, but please pay attention for a while because maybe we have something to say or perhaps something we'd like you to listen to, so please pay attention. So that's where we're at. Interesting ideas. We come your way on behalf of the What It Takes Radio Company. I'm Stan Houston, founder of the company and the host of this, our flagship program, Interesting Ideas. Hopefully will allow you and I to talk about some of the ideas in the world so that we can have a little more insight about what's going on. And then, of course, maybe have some influence for good. Maybe even do some impacting, and then hopefully some income. Some good income will come to us all as we build our own personal economies and we build our own businesses. And that's what we're about. And unfortunately, there's a number of people who are not about that. They don't really like that very much at all. And they're meeting in Switzerland this week. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about them, but I'm going to hopefully keep it reasonably encouraging to you. But I will have to say, they want to regulate and maybe ruin your life. Let's talk about the dummies and maybe even the demons from Davos. That's right. A little bit controversial, a little bit challenging, but I think right on. And that program, Interesting Ideas, begins right now. Here we go. By the way, I came across something rather interesting yesterday, and it was a bit of a challenge, but it shows how a small thing can be very, very important that we don't even think about. Yesterday was the birthday of Benjamin Franklin. You know, his picture on the $100 bill, which we don't get to carry around a lot, most of us, but those who do know Benjamin Franklin, obviously one of the founding fathers of the American experiment. And it's still an experiment. They said it always would be. Here's the deal. He had two birthdays. It says this now. Franklin was born in Boston on January 6th, 1706. But in 1752, Great Britain switched from the Julian to the Gregorian calendar and skipped 11 days. So Franklin's birthday became January 17th in 1773. He wrote to his wife, Deborah Franklin, "I feel still some regard for this 6th of January as my old nominal birthday." Well, I don't know which birthday he celebrated, but there's an indication of people, they just changed your birthday because they could and because they did. Here we go. Franklin is known for a lot of good things, but you know, one of the things we really owe to him was the invention of the lightning rod. We've oftentimes heard of the story of him out flying a kite in the lightning and kind of discovering that lightning is somewhat electricity. Well, with that basis, now he invented, so, you know, you stick the lightning rod up in the air on the farm barn, and then when the lightning hits, it usually goes for, connects at the highest point, and so millions of lightning strikes, rather than hitting somebody or hitting something, go harmlessly to the ground. However, and this really shocked me, that still around the world, around 4,000 people every year die of lightning strikes. You know, and we've never quite taken that very seriously. I know sometimes I was swimming in the pool and it was a little bit cloudy and maybe you could see something in the distance, and then the guards, the security guards would come and shush me out of the pool because of the lightning. Why are you doing that? Well, they were being smart. Lightning is a lot more dangerous than you think. And I then talked to my friends who are cowboy guys, and they said, absolutely. When you're way out in the plains riding horses like a lot of us do, when we get, if we're out in the plains and all of a sudden a lightning storm comes up, we're scared. we're going to try and get off the horse, bed down, and stay low, because it has happened a number of times that people riding their horse have been struck by lightning. So, see, you learn something about being careful every day right here, something useful. Benjamin Franklin, one of his greatest inventions was the lightning rod. Well, maybe some lightning should go to some of the people who are meeting in the conference at Davos or whatever else they want to call it. And here's what my friend John Hinderrocker from the Powerline blog wrote about that. He said, global elites conspire against the rest of us. The World Economic Forum's annual meeting in Davos kicked off yesterday. For a long time, I didn't take the Davos Elite Fest seriously, but unfortunately, it has gained steam. Here's what it says. The WEF Summit features a record turnout from many of the most powerful government and corporate officials. There will be 379 public officials attending, including 30 heads of state, 56 finance ministers, 19 central bank governors, 39 heads of global organizations, including the United Nations, the International Monetary Fund, and the World Trade Organization. There will also be 1,500 executives from 700 companies, including 600 CEOs from the world's largest corporations. Borg Brendy, one of several WEF managing directors, says, we now have the key players globally to create collaboration even in this fractured world. He also noted that the WEF is expecting a high-level Chinese delegation. Well, these are the people who are there. I wonder if there is anyone there who actually makes something, a man who uses a hammer to build something. I wonder if there is a woman who raises children there. Just a suggestion. I guess Elon Musk was not invited. Obviously, he's a bit of a rogue entrepreneur, and there's a very good chance that he would be a little bit of an irritant to the people there, because unfortunately, our climate czar in America, John Kerry, graciously told us all that he was one of the fortunate few. You think of the people who were there. He said, we are here because we can save the world. Oh, so it's the people who can save the world. How interesting. They really think so. Now, of course, the interesting thing is a lot of this is all about climate change. And of course, as someone pointed out, sitting out on the tarmac at the airport are about 1,200 private planes who obviously do a lot of carbon spreading among the world, and they're going to come up with ideas to change our world, change us in such ways that we will live the way they want us to live. Now, they don't want to live that way, but they want us to live that way. Isn't it interesting? Now, I've oftentimes used the expression, just now I said, sometimes it looks like the dummies go to Davos, and I've also said, some of these people, I don't even think they mean well. And maybe there's a little bit of the devil in them. So maybe the dummies and the demons who are presently in Davos. Well, let's see what they come up with. They'll spend a lot of money and tell us what to do. Then they will go back and try and live their own rich life while we have to work our life. And next year they'll go back and they'll report on how wonderful they are. And once again, they have to spend a week deciding how we, the working rubble of the world, the rebels of the world, how we should live. I don't wish them well. Just thought I would get that in on this day. Wednesday is, in effect, the thump day. This is where you have to thump it, sometimes called the hump day. Now, this is when you actually, perhaps, maybe even get some things done of consequence, and that prepares you to maybe make the week end well. The way the week ends is often based on how you do your Wednesday. Think about that now, how you do your Wednesday. Now, going back, one of the things we do, most of us do every morning if we're successful, spirit-led entrepreneurs, we take time to pray, maybe to do an act of worship, to do an act of personal kindness. It's a small act of personal kindness. And is there any conference in Switzerland on the fact that perhaps kindness and prayer and goodness toward others and humility and some of those virtues might be something they need to do if they truly want us to believe them and follow their leading? Let me tell you, those people don't have a clue. But unfortunately, they control a lot of power, and that's why I'm going to suggest this. Be an entrepreneur or think like one. The future, unfortunately, may be in much of the hands of the 700 CEOs who are there from major companies. But please keep in mind that the world is made good and great by the men and women who serve others, care for others. As my Rotary friends say, put service to others above self. Simple thing. Try to keep things fair, try to keep things good. Try to find out ways where you can make a small little difference. I'm going to be involved next week in a major event in which we are trying to raise money for the cause of world hunger. And I wonder if they'll ever talk about the fact that some people suggest that every 6 seconds a child dies of hunger and malnutrition. Well, no. They don't have time to do that. They've got to tell us how to live. And some of them will tell us how to live by we have to get rid of fertilizer because. And of course, if we get rid of fertilizer, there'll be less food and food and food. And maybe that's important. None of them have ever been hungry, probably, and none of them have ever worried about food. And I'm going to try and get a conversation going here about the possibility of a food crisis. Could that be coming to us? And what are we going to do about it? Well, I would love to have your opinions on it, and perhaps you're joining us in a conversation about the food crisis. Is that real? And I've asked a gentleman to help me do that, and perhaps you would like to be a part of that conversation too. I'm Stan Houston. I'm done for today on Wednesday, but I am going to issue you a little bit of a challenge, so if you'll take just a few seconds to kind of connect yourself and get ready to get a challenge, we'll go from there. I'm Stan Houston. Interesting ideas. Okay, very simple. Whatever you're doing today, think about, just very simple, how can I show kindness to others today? Now, actually be intentional about it. The people who actually work and do hard work. The people right now who are out fixing the roof in our apartment and making it nice. It's dangerous work. It's hard work. Simple, hard-working men who are making life better for those hard-working people who live in a small apartment house. That's the things that will save the world. So may I suggest you think how you can do not a random act of kindness, a very intentional act of kindness to people who are actually doing good things today. And then do the same thing tomorrow. And the same thing the next day. Do a good thing and do it well. I'm Stan Husted. If I can help you in any way, reach out to me, stanhusted@gmail.com, stanhusted@gmail.com. We have a number of opportunities for you with the Jesus Entrepreneur Experience and What It Takes Radio, going and growing, and there might be a part that you can play in that program and in that ways we hope to serve others. Best and blessings to you today. Make it a good Hump Day Wednesday. And push hard, but do it gently to make the week end well. Best in blessings, and bye for now.
Ooh, 'tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift